He said, God is dead. He warned us not to follow the crowd. He hated pity, and in the end, he lost his mind. Friedrich Nietzsche is one of the most misunderstood philosophers in history. His ideas are often quoted, and even more often misused. But behind the controversy was a man searching for meaning in a world that no longer believed in truth. Nietzsche was born in 1844 in a small German town. His father was a Lutheran pastor who died when Nietzsche was just 5. He was raised by women, strong, religious, moral women, and perhaps he never quite recovered. At just 24, he became a professor of philology, but his body was breaking down. Chronic migraines, failing eyesight, loneliness, pain. He left his post, wandered across Europe, lived in silence, wrote like a man possessed, until one day in Turin, he saw a horse being beaten, threw his arms around it, collapsed, and never returned to sanity. He died 11 years later, a ghost of a man. His sister took his work and twisted it into propaganda. The Nazis turned him into something he never was. So, what did Nietzsche believe? First, he believed the world had lost something, not just faith, but meaning. He said God is dead, not because he hated religion, but because he saw that people no longer truly believed. Science had replaced scripture, but nothing had replaced the soul. Without God, morality becomes uncertain. Right and wrong begin to blur. We are free, terrifyingly free, and that freedom can crush us. That's where Nietzsche introduces the Übermensch, the overman, the one who creates his own values. Not a tyrant, not a master race, but a person who dares to live without lies, who shapes his life like an artwork, who says yes to existence, even when it hurts. Then comes one of his most haunting ideas, the eternal recurrence. Imagine living your life, over and over, exactly the same, forever. Would you say yes to that? Would you embrace it, or would you break? It's not a theory, it's a test. Do you live in a way that you would live again? To Nietzsche, the greatest sin wasn't cruelty, it was resentment, living in bitterness, blaming others, hiding behind excuses. He wanted us to become stronger, not in power, but in honesty. Nietzsche was a critic, not of truth, but of illusion. He hated what he called slave morality, a morality built on guilt, weakness, and fear. The kind that says, I am good because I am oppressed. I am holy because I suffer. He saw this in Christianity, in modern politics, in the quiet voices that call you selfish for chasing strength, beauty, or greatness. He hated the herd, those who never ask questions, who follow rules because it's easier than thinking. And he hated pity, not compassion, but the kind of pity that keeps people small, that turns pain into a virtue and weakness into a crown. He didn't want cruelty, he wanted clarity. Don't pretend, don't lie to yourself, don't wear masks, he once wrote. I am not a man, I am dynamite. So why does Nietzsche still matter? Because we still live in his world. A world without certainty, without divine order, without guaranteed meaning. He warned us, when we kill God, we don't just lose religion, we lose the ground beneath our feet. And he was right. In the 20th century, his ideas exploded, for better and for worse. He shaped existentialism, Sartre, Camus, Heidegger, all walked through doors Nietzsche had opened. He influenced Freud, Jung, and modern psychology. Our obsession with the unconscious, with drives, trauma, and the masks we wear. He even touched art, music, politics, self-help. From Wagner to Jordan Peterson, From Fight Club to Instagram, self-overcoming quotes, Nietzsche is everywhere. But most of all, he matters because he refused comfort. He stared into the abyss and didn't look away. He didn't want you to be safe. He wanted you to be awake. Nietzsche didn't give us answers. He gave us a mirror that doesn't flatter, one that shows who we are and who we could be. He believed that life is pain, but that in pain we find depth. He believed that values must be earned, not inherited. And he believed that becoming yourself is the hardest thing you will ever do. He called it the task of great individuals, to create meaning in a world that offers none, not to be happy, not to be right, but to become something worthy of existence. That's why he still matters. Not because he makes you feel good, but because he makes you feel responsible. And maybe that's where philosophy begins. This is the Dead Philosophers Society.